the way everything started was very magical in a way. I knew I wanted to open a raw food restaurant, but this happened throughout a few years. And really in the beginning was that when I was 16 years old, I became vegetarian, and I didn't do it for health reason, I did it for environmental issues. And I read a sentence, a quote from Albert Einstein that everybody knows that says, the best thing that a human being can do to help his environment and his health is to become vegetarian. And this shocked me so much from such a genius person known all over the world that I started looking into it and realized that it was a huge impact on the environment when you actually change your food habits. So that's what made me switch at first. And then I started traveling for these years and years and years, and I did a lot of sports and extreme sports and surfing and tons of things, and hiking, long-term hiking, and all this brought me to eating raw foods. And today, 7 years after opening a business, it's been amazing, and people are so into it, and I never thought it would happen. I followed a dream. I had no money in my bank account. I actually had minus $3,000 in my bank account, and I had a dream. I wanted to share my passion with the world, which was the best food as possible, to have the best energy and the optimum health. And that's how I started, just believing in a dream, and it happened. I was traveling, and then I did a long-term hiking. I walked from Mexico to Canada for 4 months and a half with my girlfriend at that time, eating raw food. So I had sponsors sending me food, spirulina, seaweeds, chlorella, dried bananas, raw foods. I was harvesting food on my way, and that's how I discovered on my body how amazing it was. Then I had the idea of bringing this to Montreal and sharing this passion. And I had a friend of mine named Mathieu who was really into a drink called Kombucha, a fermented tea that provides all kinds of antioxidants and great things for our digestive system. So we decided to join the forces and open a business which was a catering with raw foods, organic, and a kombucha company. And that's how it started. Now we have 2 restaurants. I'm about to open one in the next 2 months. We have 4 locations, 4 juice bars also, so we have 6 addresses. We have a catering service, and we have food basically that we sell in health food stores and grocery stores and all the cafeterias of all the universities of Montreal. And then we have a school, like an academy, where we teach actually how to make this food and how to take care of your health. From everything that we make, what goes the best, I believe, is the smoothies. Because everybody likes smoothies, and it's a way to actually learn how amazing the effects are with something that tastes really good and that's very affordable and accessible to everyone. Anybody can drink a smoothie. Everybody likes it. It's sweet, it's fun. We had greens in it, we had superfoods, we had all kinds of things. People replace their meals with it, and then they realize slowly that there's an impact. They have more energy, they feel lighter. It goes along with it. People who are running on a mountain or are doing a big sports, they drink smoothies, they feel that they actually can thrive on it and everything. So that's how people start. Then people love our desserts, of course. Everybody like the sweets, so people come to our place and eat the desserts without guilt in a way, because there's no dairy or there's no flour or there's no sugar in it, so that's what people like. And then the workshop, people love the workshop because they want to learn how it works. And for my business, it's the best because we actually create this cycle where people go in our restaurant, they're curious, so they come to the class. Now, because they came to the class, they want to buy the ingredients to do it at home, so we give them the ingredients, and then they need a machine, so we sell them the machine, and they stay with us, and then they go back to the restaurant with their friends, and that's how people stay with it in the family, and when we create this big community that stays around us. Yeah, the food we find in our restaurant is very different than most of the classic restaurants. We make lasagnas, we make burgers, we make things like this, but they're not really the lasagnas that we know. So because we don't use any dairy or flour or even cooking, rarely we find something cooked in our restaurant. So we actually use vegetables, fruits, seeds and nuts and sprouts, and with this we create everything else. So we use, let's say we're going to make cheese, but instead of using dairy, we'll use actually seeds that are fermented and sprouted with bacteria and things like this that we find from miso, etc. So we make our own cheese, we make our own bread out of sprouted quinoa or buckwheat. We make pizza out of zucchini dehydrated. It's a way different the way we make the food there. The 3 processes that we use the most in our kitchen is sprouting, dehydration, and fermentation. Sprouting is a way where we actually take a seed and we optimize his nutritious level. We actually make it even better and more bioavailable. So we actually put it in water and we just recreate the rain outside. So the seed is basically patented and designed by nature to grow and create a tree or a plant. So what we're going to do is actually soak it in water and make sure that the seed is actually starting to live and having enzymes that are activated in it to actually biodigest it before we eat it. So the whole idea of sprouting is to pre-digest the food before we eat it. Same thing for fermentation. Dehydration is a little bit different. The idea here is to actually condense the nutrients and also keep them for a longer time. Dehydration for us is a way to really make something and having it good for 6 months. So we'll sprout the seed and then we'll dehydrate it so that that seed is good for the next 6 months. So it's really a conservation idea and also a texture idea. We are a no gluten kitchen, so we are certified no gluten, so we don't use seitan. We use tempeh a little bit in our restaurant, more and more, because it's a fermented version of soy. We don't use tofu because it's hard to digest and a lot of people can't really deal with it. But tempeh to us is the best alternative for tofu because it's actually pre-fermented. So as I was saying, it's a way to have the food already digested for us. So it's the best way to take the proteins out of it. The kombucha is another part of our organization that we created in the beginning, where it really went crazy and people are loving it. And kombucha is really a tea that's fermented because we put sugar in it. So it's really tea with sugar that we add a matrix of bacteria, probiotics basically. There's about 6 different bacteria and 6 different yeast plus little microorganisms here and there that actually live in a synergy and symbiosis, where they're actually going to digest the sugar together and create this mother, some kind of a cellulose paper-like that people call a mushroom. It's not a mushroom, it's really paper-like, it's like cellulose. And what happens is that the tea and the sugar are getting fermented for about 14 days and it creates organic acids and probiotics that are very cool for our digestive system, immune system, liver functions. It actually helps digest the alcohol even, all of this. So for us, creating a kombucha company was a statement in our society where it's fine to drink a pop drink that fizz, it's fun, we love it, but we have to find pop drinks that are actually good for us. So we have to find an alternative, because Coca-Cola and Sprite taste good maybe, but it's actually destroying health all over the world. So the idea was to really create a pop drink, a fizz that people can drink for fun, but also can drink for their health, basically. We wrote one book at first with 180 recipes in it, and it went crazy. We translated it in 6 languages, it's all over the planet, and it went so well that we decided to make more. So now we created 4 more books that are on the market right now, and I'm writing 2 new books that are coming out in April next year. Well, the name is Crudessence, is the name of our business, and then the other books, there are specifics. So we have a book mainly on soups, so raw soups, cooked soups. We have a book only on salads. I have a book only on juices and smoothies and elixirs and things like this. And we have a book on desserts, only raw desserts, basically. In Crudessence, we have 15 workshops. We have one main workshop, which is 7 hours, which is really the basics, like from A to Z. How does raw foods work? Where do I start? Which kind of tools does I need? And which kind of recipe we make milks and juices, and we make all kinds of recipes. And that's the full trip, a 7 hours workshop. And then we have 14 different little workshops that are 3 hours each, that are more hands-on, where we do just specifics, a bit like our books. So we have a class on desserts, we have a class on salads, we have a workshop hands-on fermentation and kombucha. So we use specific topics where people can really learn in this topic, basically. The mission of Crudessence is mostly education, and it's really to actually help people realize their potential. That's the idea. Food was the best matrix for us to grow something out of people, because we eat every day. We eat every single day, morning, lunch, dinner. And it's a way for us to either numb ourselves and put things in ourselves that doesn't respect our own body, or to actually give ourselves the best so that we can actually have the more energy to realize our dreams and our potential. And most of people have dreams but don't realize really that they actually can achieve them. We have these dreams, but we sit on our couch and we think, oh, this is a beautiful dream, I'd love to make this happen, but we don't really have this feeling that we can actually achieve it. So there's always something outside. So we live through TV, or we live through other people's realizing their dreams. And I realize that people need a fuel, and the more we eat better, the more we get beautiful food and colors and beauty in our body, the more we become beautiful, and the more we have this energy and this potential to accomplish our dreams. So that's our mission. Our mission is not to feed the world. It's not to educate people about organic food. It's a way vast, way more vast than this. It's actually find the bigger potential in every human beings.